Have you ever noticed that two people can receive exactly the same amount of money and make completely different decisions? One sees money as something to spend as soon as possible. The other sees possibilities, choices, and time. The curious thing is that this difference almost never appears in the bank account first. She shows up in the way of thinking. And maybe you've already developed a different financial mindset without even realizing it. There are small signs that reveal when someone starts to see money in a way that most people never see. While watching, try to count how many of these signals describe you. The result may surprise. The first sign is simple. You don't just ask how much it costs. You ask if it's worth it. Sounds the same, but it's not. Many people make decisions by looking at the price. People who think differently about money seek to understand value. They know that something cheap can be expensive and that something seemingly expensive can save money for years. This small change completely changes the way you buy. Now think about it. You feel more satisfaction when you save than when you buy. It seems strange because our brain normally associates happiness with consumption. But some people start to feel a different reward. They like to see the reserve grow, a goal being achieved, or a debt disappearing. When this happens, your brain stops seeking pleasure only in spending and begins to find satisfaction in progress. Another curious sign is that you can wait. When a promotion or a launch appears, you feel no need to decide immediately. You research, compare, think, and often realize that you didn't even want that. While most buy to ease the emotion of the moment, you let the emotion pass before making a decision. And this simple pause avoids numerous financial mistakes. There is also behavior that almost no one notices. You pay attention to small expenses, not because you are obsessed with saving, but because you understand that small repeated choices hundreds of times create great results. A coffee, a forgotten subscription, or an impulsive purchase seem insignificant in isolation. But together they tell a completely different story. Now comes an even more important sign. You don't buy things to impress other people. A larger car, a more expensive cell phone, or branded clothes are no longer a priority when you realize that financial freedom is worth a lot more than a few seconds of approval. People who think differently about money prefer to build equity quietly rather than build appearance. Another interesting behavior is changing your mind when you learn something new. Many people keep repeating bad financial habits just not to admit they were wrong. But those who develop financial intelligence understand that learning means changing. The market changes. The economy changes. Opportunities change. And your way of thinking also needs to evolve. Now think of another situation. You start to see money as time. Before you buy something, you can imagine how many hours of work it took to earn that amount. Suddenly, decisions that looked small have a completely different weight. Money ceases to be just a number and comes to represent effort, energy, and future choices. Perhaps the strongest sign of all is this. You are curious about money. Instead of avoiding the subject, you seek to understand how it works. Want to learn about habits, investments, behavior, and smart decisions? This curiosity is important because almost every financial transformation starts just like this. First, it changes the way of thinking. Then they change the decisions. Only then do the results change. Now make a mental count. How many of these signs are part of your life? Maybe you've realized that thinking differently about money doesn't mean being rich. It means starting to see opportunities where there were only spending before. It means understanding that wealth is not born of a single brilliant decision, but of the sum of hundreds of small choices made in the right way. So now I want to know about you. Which of these signs did you recognize most in yourself? Write in the comments because I'm curious to find out which thought change appeared most often. If this video made you see money in a different way, leave your like so that more people discover that true wealth starts in the mind before it appears in the bank account. And subscribe to the channel, because in the next few videos you will know other hidden behaviors that reveal how financially intelligent people really think. See you in the next video.